Alrighty. We should be ready to go. Yes, all the screens are swapping, all the audio is on. I didn't screw anything up today. Well, not yet. There's still time. So, power weapons and how not to do them. I say how not to do them because I'm going to be frickin' rushing through, trying to get as many done as possible. This means it will probably not be pretty. It will certainly not be the professional way to do it. Hopefully, it will look passable. Emphasis on hopefully. I did mention yesterday that I'm going to be starting off with like Stegadon scale green with some Temple Guard blue mixed in. That is roughly 3 parts Stegadon scale to 1 part Temple Guard. Mix it through. I think most of us have probably by now seen like GW tutorials about we're just going to paint here, and they're exactly right. But what they don't tend to tell you, what they don't mention, is the reason you're starting from the middle and working your way out with this sort of technique, or starting at the dark spot and working your way towards light, is that as your brush lifts off whatever you're painting, it deposits more paint on that spot where you're lifting off. So by starting where you want it darkest and moving down, you have less chance of causing major issues with like leaving stuff that's too bright in the wrong spot. Gonna take me a second to get the words out there. But we should be able to get these coats done in a reasonable amount of time. I'm not going to stress too much about, so because there's going to be a fair bit of dark area left on these models, anything that I need to clean up that's dark, I can come back and do it later. For the spears, I'm going about 2/3 light to 1/3 dark. That's just so I don't have to go back and have like a middle part that's dark and then light on each end. And I only want to do 1 blend per weapon, or 1 set of blends per weapon. I also did mention yesterday that I was going to put the gloss varnish on these bikes, and look, it's glossy. It's not a perfect gloss coat. There are some spots where, because I've used a heat gun to try and dry it up, there's some spots that are like slightly cracked. That's not too big a deal because I'm not going for like competition level painting. I'm going for quick and nasty, and I'm on a time frame, so I've got to have this done in a week level of painting. I've already started on that one, so we can go to there. like I said, any of the areas that are too dark, that are too bright, I can always darken down later. It's not going to be anything overly special. We're just going to take as many quick journeys as we can with it. I've also mentioned I don't particularly care if I go paint over the gold at the moment that's on the weapons, because I will come back and finish that later. Because these ones aren't characters, again, we're just going to do one blend per section. So in this case, it's one blend on each side of the spear. One second, because this one, the blade is very painful to try and get into. I was sure I didn't use that much glue on it. Jesus. I can come back and, well, you're going to need to get re-glued onto a base eventually anyway. So this one's going this way, so this one needs to go this way, and that will make it a lot smoother now that I don't have a base on there. You can still see it, so it's okay. I'm going to start that way on this one, and then work back this way. Again, this one is not a character, so it's only getting a single blend. When I say not a character, not a HQ, because even the Vexillus is only getting like one very simple blend. So what we're going to aim to do is get down a few different layers, a few different colours, progressively going lighter, and then if I've done a good enough job I should be able to put a glaze over it, like a blue glaze, and that will help unify and smooth things out a bit. and I can always come back in and re-blend some layers if I absolutely screw something up. So I'm pretty new at blending. That's why I said on the social media post, this is not going to be like a masterclass level thing. This is me rushing through. I've got to get the army finished. I don't even know what I'm doing at the best of times with this sort of stuff. It's just try and make it work. I would love to have this army entirely finished by the weekend. The same as the spears, not the spears, well, the lances on the bikes. We're going to do each side once. Try and gently. So pull down away from where the blend is. Maybe easier to do the top and then the bottom. And they're not all going to be the same anyway, so. The other thing about this is, if we get to a point where the dark areas aren't dark enough, I can always then add in like some contrast paints on the darker areas to darken that up. These swords are annoying to do with the shields in place. Oh, for some of them it is. Is that done? That's the first layer done. And then it's just come in with more and more layers. We can even stay at this same paint for the minute, because we're going to be coming in and painting just a little bit further back of each one. And then that's going to help build up the colour. Until we reach maximum opacity, also known as full saturation, aka we can see all the colours properly. the closer we get to full opacity, the more we're going to have, well, of this color, the more we're going to have to start adding in some lighter colors as well. So we'll start mixing in more of the Temple Guard blue, and then eventually some more, add in some Baharoth blue, which is even lighter. And maybe even some white inks for some highlights. I wasn't joking around when I said I'm going to be going quick and dirty with this. Yeah, we're already onto our second spot, or second coat on everything. I think by the end of this coat we can add a little bit, make it a little bit brighter. We're not going to get rid of the paint that's already here. We're just going to keep adding lighter stuff to it so we've still got the same tints. Someone's out on their motorbike. I know a lot of people do the like lightning effects on the blades for the Custodes. I do not have that level of brush control, so it's quick, nasty all the way. Hopefully the transitions are starting to show up on camera. Because otherwise it's going to be a very boring painting session. Well, for anyone who watches. I can't see properly on my screens. My screen isn't in full screen mode. Yeah, I can. Okay. Let's keep going. So if I bring this guy across and start to paint, can I see it on the screen? Yeah, it shows up okay. I do wish I could film at a higher quality at the moment. Being able to transmit at 1080 would be nice. In fact, I should be able to transmit at 1080, and it should be transmitting at 1080. I don't know entirely why it's not. But I know I can't change it mid-recording. Because apparently the highest it's coming out at the moment is 720. So it's going to be something I'm going to have to work my way through. Because I'm still only learning OBS. I've done, I've been doing streams for a little while now, but there's a difference between being able to get a stream working and actually know what you're doing. Getting a stream working with OBS is actually quite easy. It's all the little optimizations and stuff that make it difficult. From about there down, from about there up. About there up, about there down. Yeah, as time goes on, I'm more confident with the streams, and even in the next couple of weeks when I move all of the painting out to the garage so I can have the dedicated streaming space, I'll be able to work more and more on improving the quality of what's going on, rather than just me rushing to try and get something going for stream. There will be a couple of weeks, I've mentioned this a couple of times, where I'm on jury duty. So it will be no stream for possibly 2 weeks. Let's add some of this in. Give it a thorough mixing. So at this point we've added a little bit of the Baharoth blue in. So things should start getting brighter and brighter now. It's not overly bright at the moment, but as we get closer and closer and the opacity gets up, then we will get much better colouring. So each layer now we're going to add a little bit of the brighter paints, because now it's really a push to try and get it brighter. Some of these will be a lot easier to get done than others. Apparently my air compressor is still turned on from when I was doing some airbrush work. The house is actually quiet enough that I can hear the compressor kicking every now and then. Another interesting sound is going to pop up every now and then now is this. Because my fiance bought me a vortex mixer. So sometimes when I'm mixing paints, I'm not going to have to shake the crap out of it by hand. It's going to be so much nicer. Well, it's going to be annoying to listen to, but for you guys. But for me, it's making my life easier because I'm not going to have to shake the absolute living crap out of paints just to get a decent finish. I have tested, and there's a couple of my paints that just are not coming back to life with it. Some of them are just too dried out and gunky. Mainly my Liberator Gold. At some point I probably left the lid off it for a while, and yeah, I just don't think there's any saving it. No, just on that one. Yeah, I think when I've done these, the test versions of these weapons, I used Quellia Green Shade to glaze over top to try and bring the colours in. I've been told that I could use Pilar Glacier, and I kind of wanted to give it a try to see if that'll bring things together nicely, because it is a rather transparent colour, a very glaze type consistency. So I think that's going to be something I'm going to test. I can definitely see how people, like once you get the hang of it, can sit down and paint an entire squad with power weapons and get it done at a decent time. Because I'm not even good at this sort of stuff. I'm getting a reasonable result in no time at all. Someone who knows what they're doing would be able to do much better. Alrighty. Mix in more of the Baharoth Blue. Even more of it. Trying to make sure it's mixed smoothly through. We're getting there. We are getting there. Do, 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 do. Comes together so quick sometimes. I don't mind the fact that they've got a little bit of it on the bolter there because it's going to be easier to fix up. To about there. To about there. I think overall this is going to be like one of the quickest armies I've ever painted. Not just in terms of the fact that I wasn't even... I just threw that completely to frickin' under the desk. So yeah, in terms of... I've got to try and get this on my foot because I can't lean under there. Make sure I haven't screwed up the paint job. Yeah, it's taken not long as far as days that I've been working on it, but also not long as far as hours put in. Because I think at the moment I'm still only in like 15 hours for the entire army. And I know people will spend 15 hours on one model. But I've known of people who can sit there and spend 40 hours on a single model. no thank you on that. I don't think I could ever spend that long on a single model. I think I would honestly go insane before I even approached that number. And that's why those people are out there winning like Golden Demon Awards and stuff, and I'm sitting here judging my own work too harshly and not getting even half the quality they get. Yeah. You watch a live stream of some people painting power weapons and it's, I spent 3 hours on this one blade and it looks perfect, and I'm like, I'm going to spend 1 hour on 21 blades and they're all going to look okay. You're not going to look at any one of them and go, that is amazing. You're going to look at all of them and go, yeah, it passes. I've already done those two. I'm losing track of which ones I've painted. Pretty sure I haven't done that one. I'm pretty sure I haven't done that one. Have to mix up more paint. I think this is going to be the last one before I go for pure Baharoth blue. At this point, the paint is becoming desaturated, which I sort of don't want. So just a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there. The last part that will make this neat, like I said, is going to be to come. Well, last parts are going to make this neat. Whoop, too much paint on that. Is going to be. I'm going to come in and redefine the stick it on scale areas, and then edge highlighting. I will add some edge highlights into help refine the edges, especially on, that's especially going to be important on these spears, because word's hard. The gaps in the middle and stuff like that, we really need to show that there is a hole there, so we need to have that outlined nicely. I'm getting stuck concentrating here, it's really hard to talk. So I gotta make sure I'm not painting too much over areas where I've already painted. Some of the areas where I've already painted, because that'll end up with a really rough transition, because I'll go from spots that are too bright to too dark. I've got to keep track of which models I've already done, so I'm shuffling some stuff around over that side of the desk to make sure I know what it is I'm doing. Yeah, pure Baharok blue is going to have to be the next color, and then we'll desaturate that a little bit with some white ink to brighten it up, and then it'll be off to final highlights and a glaze and a highlight. The glaze I'll probably get a chance to do on stream. I've got to double check my timing. Make sure I've got time to get the kids up from school. The highlights aren't going to be too intense, so where the darker blades are, I'm actually probably going to come back with about this colour to highlight down the bottom of the blades, so just along there, and for this side up there, and then there as well. And then the opposites, like where it's lighter, it'll get nearly a pure white highlight. I'm at the point where I'm not caring which weapon I'm doing as long as I'm just getting the weapon. Getting one that I haven't already painted. So I'm shuffling them from side to side as I paint them. The fact that these are slowly desaturated won't matter once I put the glaze over, because the Pilar Glacier glaze will help reset the blue a little bit. The glaze will happen before the highlights as well. Because that gives the highlights a better chance to stand out rather than getting washed away with the glaze. Right, we can make it through that coat. Double check time. I have 20 minutes left before I've got to take off. Pure Baharoth blue. So just a little too much on there. That's better. Just a little bit on there. And a little bit there. Alrighty. Hopefully the Pilar Glacier will blend this properly, because otherwise it's going to look chunky as hell and I have to come back and try and redo the areas. On the axis should be alright, because the axis sort of goes to the brighter areas quicker because it's a shorter blade. It's a little stressful. Like, it shouldn't be stressful because it's only paint, but it feels stressful. And until I actually finish all of these and see how they dry, I'm not going to be entirely sure if it's worked. Finish the spears first, and then move on to the swords. We're closing on the hour of stream. That doesn't mean an hour of work because how long it takes me to actually start painting after the stream starts and stuff. And there's the intro time while I'm still prepping stuff, but the stream's live. One more to do, I think, because you've already done that one. So last one to do. So the last thing I'm going to have to do before I do the glaze will be stick it on scale green again. I'm going to have to tidy up the areas where I've painted over. This will not take much effort, I don't think. Because it's mostly just re-establishing this dark area. Make sure it is actually still dark. And for these ones in particular, it's just re-establish that tip there. Make sure there's a tip on both sides. If I mess it up, I can just wipe it. This is it's going pretty well. No, these really need to tidy up because I've only been painting them on one side. Swords. The swords, because they have a tip that joins, yes, they will need to tidy up. The spears, however, will not. Next, alright, glaze brush. Since we have some spears that are already dry, give it a proper mix. Alright, Pilar Glacier. Let's see how this goes with a glaze. Will it help soften things off a bit? I don't think so. I don't think Pilar Glacier is going to work for it. I did say earlier what I've used before is Quelea Green Shade. So we'll go with a quick try of Quelea Green Shade onto one of the weapons. Try and blend this through. It mostly works. Yeah, I think Quelea Green Shade is going to be the way to go. Good news is that Pilar Glacier is pale enough that it won't matter. So it'll be this, and then highlight. I'll only get as far as putting the green shade on today. Helps if I hold it under the frickin' camera. And this time, instead of putting all the models away, since they're going to be sitting on this part of my desk anyway, I'm just going to let them pile up over here. Over there. Yeah. So tomorrow will be highlights. Actually, no, tomorrow I won't be streaming because tomorrow's Thursday. So tomorrow I'll start painting some faces off camera. Then Thursday we'll start the highlighting day. I've got to highlight the gold a little and highlight the power weapons. I'm not so stressed about highlighting the black on the weapons. There's still a couple of colours to do on the weapons, so like on the staff part of the weapons. So that'll come last of all, after I've tidied up all the gold and stuff on the weapons. You know, we're making good progress. I said I wouldn't mind being done by the end of the week. I'm not quite going to make that at this point, unless I put in a lot of hours off camera. I'm certainly going to have a respectable looking army for the weekend. This weekend, heading over to a mate's place to do a couple of practice games for the event. So showing up there with a decently painted army will be nice. I think they're all a little bit shocked as to how fast this is coming together. I know I am completely shocked at how fast I'm getting this coming together. It's nice to have the motivation to actually get some painting done. Not just the tournament. I mean, I'm definitely motivated for the tournament, but just in general, like streams and stuff like that, keeping me going at the moment. because when I show up on stream I have to do something. I have to paint. I mean, I could just sit here and talk, but I'm already running out of stuff to talk about, so it would be far, far worse if I wasn't painting. We're just at the point of leaving the bikes. What did I say? Boats. I don't have any boats in my army. So I think that's what, 20 power weapons in an hour? To a decent quality? I will actually have to sort out all these models into a way that you can actually see them all, and take some photos and post them in some groups and stuff. Yeah. So I think we're done for the day. Or at least, we're done for the painting session. Because I gotta go pick up kids soon. So we're gonna leave it there. Like I said, no stream tomorrow. Next one will be Friday, 1:30 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Yeah, not much else to say. Have a good one.